It all starts with the new curriculum. Our curriculum allowed Brown students to think, allowed them to explore, allowed them to stick their neck out, allowed them to, if they want something, to go for it. It's why we have so many entrepreneurs who go to or who went to Brown.
I think there's a group of students that come here and because of the freedom discover what they need to do to be successful, not only here but in life, and that was me.
What is entrepreneurship? It's creativity, it's passion, it's discipline on the other hand. Brown is the perfect place because starting from the fact that there's no core curriculum, it really gives you an opportunity to experiment.
People come to Brown because they want to be autonomous and they want to do things themselves and they want to accomplish results. And I think because our curriculum gives people so much freedom, especially at the very early stages and at the end of their career, students can go out and develop their own ideas and create and make something. I think this program, the entrepreneurial program, is really a wonderful vehicle for channeling this energy without stifling it.
Our vision really became to expand the reach of the entrepreneurship program. EP meant big business, and this is something that we wanted to change. We wanted to show that entrepreneurship really represented Brown, that entrepreneurship was all about creativity and pulling resources together, being independent and following your passion. We wanted it to be very clear that this really was an opportunity for anybody who had something they wanted to work on, and that we were a resource for everyone.
I think purpose, which is a higher calling than just being successful or making money, is what Brown students are all about. And consequently, we've got some very successful both social entrepreneurs and business entrepreneurs that have come out of the Brown Entrepreneurship Program.
I felt this was so important for engineering to be involved in this that we began right away to try to help them with their different programs, different activities, if nothing else, help them sponsor receptions and networking events, because I think engineers today that we're turning out have to have an entrepreneurial spirit to make their way in the world.
We saw a problem, which is the existence of sex trafficking of women and children. We saw that important work that needed to get done was not being done, and we knew that no one was going to step in and do it the way we wanted to see it done. Certainly when we went in, we didn't have all the answers, we didn't have all our programs designed, we didn't have all the knowledge. But by stepping in, by making that commitment, by throwing yourself in, that's where you pick up all the knowledge, that's where you pick up the skills, that's where you pick up the expertise.
Well, I think in a way that the recent struggles around where does EP fit are really a measure of the success of the program. I try to encourage the students to think of this, that we're really on the radar screen now, you know. Look who we are, where we are, who's talking to us, who's interested in us. It couldn't be a bigger deal.
There is an inner personality, an entrepreneurial spirit that you notice it right away.
The thrill of life is the exploration. It's the what if. I always think of one thing. What am I creating today? How am I creating? Who do I need to talk to create this?
I know a lot of entrepreneurs come out of Brown University. There's no question. I know them, I've met them, I've spoken to them, I continue to speak to them.
Doing this work is this is absolutely the most fulfilling and happiest time of my life.
Some people like to work in organizations and like to be told what to do, but a lot of people don't. And I think especially on this campus, a lot of people don't.
That's been my attitude, you know, ever since. Don't tell me I can't do anything, just watch.
When you get down to the core of the Ted Turner story, it's a pure entrepreneur in the Brown kind of context, in the Brown curricular kind of way.
I think what I admire in Ted is what I admire in most entrepreneurs, a willingness to do it.
I met Ted Turner, I believe I was about 28, and he walked around, was very animated, very excited, showing me where the future headquarters of CNN was going to be. He could see beyond the water on the floor, the cobwebs hanging from the rafters, and the draft in the building. He could see it in his mind all come together. I think what really connotes an entrepreneur is someone like Turner, who has a dream.
The thing that I find inspiring about Ted Turner is his commitment to social issues. I think anyone who has any degree of wealth in this world has a tremendous responsibility to spend it in a way that will help those who either are victims of injustice or those who are poor.
mean, here's a person who's been extremely successful, I think has been successful on multiple fronts and multiple occasions, and that type of ability to do things more than once is always a measure I use as something to be impressed with.
I first became aware of Ted Turner when he bought the Atlanta Braves. He signed one of the first free agents, Andy Messersmith, and he owned the TV station TBS, which was Channel 17 in those days. They had the names of the players on the back, and instead of putting Messersmith on the back, he put Channel for his name and gave him the number 17. So it was Channel 17, and the baseball commissioner wouldn't let him do that, so they had to change it. And then he decided to make himself manager, and they wouldn't let him do that. And I thought, boy, this guy thinks he ought to be able to do anything that he wants to do. And then a few years later, I landed at Brown, and everybody here thought they should be able to do anything that they wanted to do, that they set out to do. And so I don't know if he made Brown this way or that's why he got here, but I think that's what it's about, people that just feel like they ought to be able to do anything and just go make it happen.